Elon Musk was born in 1971 in South Africa. He's currently the world's second richest person and was first for a while. A lot of people really dislike him, and that makes sense. He's unusual, unprofessional, and sometimes outright mean to employees. My book is called Tesla, SpaceX, and the Quest for a Fantastic Future. It's a book about Elon Musk, one of the world's richest and most influential people around today. The book was written by Ashlee Vance. Before this book, he'd written Geek Silicon Valley in 2007, as well as writing for various newspapers. He now runs a video series titled Hello World for Bloomberg. Most importantly, he didn't give up when Musk refused to cooperate. Quote, "I'd informed him of my plans to write a book about him, and he'd informed me of his plans not to cooperate. If I had to do this book without him, so be it." Interviews followed one after another, month after month, and 200 or so people into the process, I heard from Musk once again. He called me at home and declared that things could go one of two ways. He could make my life very difficult, or he could help with the project after all. One of the things that Musk holds in the highest regard is resolve, and he respects people who continue on after being told no. However, the story isn't about Ashlee, it's about Elon Musk. A person as successful as Elon Musk needs some driving factor. This is probably the most important part of his story, so I'm going to lead with the most important passage, in my opinion. Quote, "While the putting man on Mars talk can strike some people as loopy, it gives Musk a unique rallying cry for his companies. It's the sweeping goal that forms a unifying principle over everything he does. Employees at all three companies are well aware of this, and well aware that they're trying to achieve the impossible day in and day out. When Musk sets unrealistic goals, verbally abuses employees, and works them to the bone, it's understood to be, on some level, part of the Mars agenda." Elon Musk's first extremely successful company was PayPal. From there, he took the massive payout he got from selling the company to eBay and poured it into the private aerospace industry. This was seen as crazy at the time, with several other companies trying and failing. Eventually, he broke through and achieved orbit with a privately built rocket. He's been the CEO from the start of the still private company, as he eventually lost control of his previous two companies after going public. From a young age, he's come to see man's fate in the universe as a personal obligation. This has been his driving force in the aerospace industry and the reason he's pushing so hard to get man on Mars. If humanity can create a self-sustaining colony on Mars, the species becomes protected from so many possible disasters. Everything from asteroids to a runaway global warming no longer threatens the end of the species, only the death of a large number of people. It took over 6 years and 3 failed launches to finally get the Falcon 1 into orbit. This is a huge accomplishment for a single person. I say single person because he runs the company. He obviously could not have done it without all of the employees who built, programmed, and designed the rockets. However, Musk didn't stop there. He didn't have enough. In 2004, after investing in the electric car startup Tesla, Elon Musk rose to the position of CEO 4 years later. Since then, he's led the company to become both the youngest and most valuable car company in the world. You might be thinking, whoa, that's impressive. 2 large companies started by one person, both doing something deemed impossible? But wait, there's more. He's also a co-founder of SolarCity, one of the largest solar companies in the US. He also founded a company called Neuralink, with the goal of creating brain-computer interfaces that far surpass anything available right now. He started OpenAI, a not-for-profit AI research and safety company, though he left a few years later as Tesla started getting involved with AI as well. However, he didn't just coast his way to becoming among the richest people in the world. He was forced to overcome many obstacles along the way. When asked about what life was like growing up with his father, Musk said that he can take any situation, no matter how good it is, and make it bad. His first child died of sudden infant death syndrome, and his companies have been on the brink of bankruptcy several times. The part of his personality that intrigues me the most, though, is his seemingly unending motivation. When he was building his first startup, Zip2, he apparently worked nearly every hour of every day. Quote, "Musk never seemed to leave the office. He slept not unlike a dog on a beanbag next to his desk. Musk asked those first employees of Zip2 to give him a kick when they arrived, and he'd wake up and get back to work. It's amazing to me how driven someone can be. I've always been quite motivated, but this is a step beyond what I've ever been capable of. For Musk, the call to ensure that mankind is a multiplanetary species partly stems from a life richly influenced by science fiction books, comics, fantasy novels, and various movies throughout his childhood, young adult life, and still to this day. To conclude, Elon Musk has done a lot of impressive things, but in my opinion, his work on SpaceX was most impressive. Starting any company from the ground up is extremely difficult, no matter how much investment you can generate. He's been able to drop the price on space travel extremely low, resulting in greater availability of these kinds of rockets to not just governments, but smaller organizations too. Eventually, he pledges to get people on Mars, which, if successful, would be one of the greatest technological milestones since the moon landing. There's so much to talk about in Elon Musk's life, and this short video has barely scratched the surface. It's impossible to tell where he's going to be going next. It's amazing to me that even though this book was published just 5 years ago, it's already so out of date.